everyone uses these clips, but like, and I use them, but they don't really stay in my hair. Hi friends, how are you? I have a little event to go to tonight, and so I'm gonna do my makeup. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about some mental health stuff, just because today is like the first day I'm feeling a little bit more normal after coming out of a little bit of a anxiety hole, if you will. So yeah, I just thought do a makeup, chat about it. I know it's always so helpful to like hear other people talk about their experience with like mental health stuff if you're going through it. Mental illness loves to make you feel alone. Like it's its favorite thing to do is to make you feel like you're the only one that feels this way and there's no one else that understands. And yeah, that's its specialty. So I'm gonna talk about it today because none of that's true. And yeah, I'm very much against the stigma of mental health. I think we're going through a really cool movement of like people really coming out and talking about it. So yeah, I just want to be a part of that, talk about it. And I thought, what better a time than the day where I'm like kind of halfway in it, halfway in it, halfway out of it, feeling good enough to talk about it, but I'm like kind of like so close to it that it's like raw. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is unfortunately not a new Sephora bag. This is an old Sephora bag that I have started to use as a makeup bag. So yeah, don't get too excited. There's nothing new happening. What do I do to start? Oh, okay. So definitely have a few depression breakouts. I think that's mostly from, well, hormones and also just like not really looking after myself the past few days. I always use the Giorgio Armani foundation. For anyone wondering, it's the one foundation I found that does not break me out, and it's super moisturizing. I have like really combination skin, so I can't have anything like matte or drying on my face. It just does not work for me. It's kind of pricey. It's the only con. Well, it's the only con I think. And maybe like, I don't know, this color is too yellow for my face. I'm able to like even it out when I put the concealer and like blush and stuff, but yeah, I'd say maybe I need to like figure out a better shade for my skin. So I've suffered with anxiety for a really long time. I do have memories of me as a child having pretty bad like germophobia for a while, which I don't suffer with really now, but just having those memories as a child just makes me realize that like I've always had the anxious gene. I don't think this is something that's a new development for me, though it like manifests and changes in different ways all the time. So yeah, my anxiety is super hard to pinpoint. It's always changing. I'm always anxious about different stuff, and that makes it really tricky because if I'm suddenly feeling very anxious about something new that I don't know that I'm typically anxious about, then I can very easily start to believe those thoughts and be like, oh, maybe I should really be worried about this because this is different. Like I've never had a panic about this before, so maybe this is real because I'm not used to being worried about this particular element of life. I don't know if any of this is making any sense. I have to get these eyebrows bleached again. They didn't do the best job on the shoot that they did it at, and so they're already sort of like salt and pepper, as people call it, salt and pepper eyebrows. So, which means like some of my natural hair is already growing through, but like some of it's still bleached, and then some of it's like ginger because they didn't really tone it properly. So I think when I get my roots done, I'm gonna get them to like put bleach on my eyebrows too. the thing about anxiety is you need to try and live with it and not avoid it. So it's sort of like, even if I did know what triggered my anxiety, and there are like things that come up more than others. I definitely have like recurring anxieties. And so I guess even if I did know what my triggers were, it's like kind of almost impossible to just avoid them at all. As some of you may know, I'm in the AA Alcoholics Anonymous program. And I have been sober from alcohol and any substance for 2 years, like a little over 2 years. They say in the program that alcohol and drugs are not the problem, they're the solution. And what they mean by that is to be an alcoholic or an addict is a mental illness in itself. And the drugs and alcohol are just us like self-medicating the mental illness that we suffer. You're using the substance, whatever substance it may be, as medicine to help with the mental illness that you're suffering from, regardless of the drugs and the alcohol. So that's what they mean by it's the solution, not the problem. It's the wrong solution, but it's the solution to whatever is going on that's deeper. So getting sober, and I'm not going to go into that right now, maybe a different video when I have a bit more time, and I'm also not like right on the edge of a nervous breakdown. Yeah, getting sober was definitely a transition for sure for many different reasons, but I had to learn to live with this anxiety that I have been suffering from for ages without the medication that I was prescribing myself. And I was always very worried about medications, like proper pharmaceutical medications. I was never someone that was super open to those, which is very interesting since I was doing a lot of other stuff that was not good for my body. I was happy to do those. I don't know the explanation to that. So yeah, medications were always very scary to me, but unfortunately my anxiety became pretty debilitating by sort of like 6 months into my sobriety. It was really affecting my relationships, it was affecting my day-to-day life, it was affecting where I went, who I spoke to, what I did. It was making me agitated and angry. It was just not a way I could live, and I needed a solution, and so I tried medication, and it seems to have worked because I am still on them to this day, and they are honestly a lifesaver. I did suffer with a few side effects, which I'll get into in another video. This is sort of me just talking very surface level about everything just for now. But yeah, I started taking anti-anxiety. I started taking one called Lexapro, and yeah, it's been great. The only thing is I do still have anxiety. It's not curing anything for me, the medication. It's just pretty drastically improving it, but it's not by any means getting rid of it. It's still very, very much there. Before the medication, I was having regular panic attacks about things once a day, probably, sometimes twice a day. Anything would trigger it. I was just a mess. I was always just like quivering, always just sort of looking around me, and was so overly aware of my surroundings that it was like not good. So that subsided a lot with the medication. But the only thing is that I do still suffer from anxiety, and it's still there. Those panic attacks and that true anxiety where you wake up and you just don't want to get out of bed happens a lot less. And it honestly hasn't really happened that bad, like where I don't want to get out of bed and I don't want to do anything and I don't want to shower or like look after myself. Like that hasn't really happened since I started taking the medications. So it was super strange and a shock when the other day I really started feeling that way. There was 1 or 2 events that probably triggered it, but unfortunately I think it is also just a natural thing that would have probably happened no matter what happened. So I can't fully blame it on the events of the day because I know that's not true. For anyone that suffers with panic attacks or just anxiety in general, they'll know how scary it is when you get really worked up by your anxiety and you just feel like you can't think about anything else and you can't wake up in the morning and you don't want to shower or get ready or do your homework. Like any sort of task sounds like impossible. The other day I had a dance class and I couldn't face it. I literally just went into the school cafe and like put my head down for a second to like have a nap, and when I knew that I had to get up to go to the dance class, like I just couldn't get out of my sort of like mind. So I just stayed on that sofa and literally slept for about 4 hours in the school cafe. So yeah, it was hitting me very hard and I'm by no means like fully over it. I'm still sort of like coming out of it, but it's definitely better. Like today is the first day where I can actually function as a human being. Like I showered. That's always a good sign. So it was super shocking when I started to feel this way because I genuinely had not had this level of anxiety since I started taking medication, which was like almost 2 years ago or a year ago or something. So I'm just gonna use my phone because I'm like too far away to do that. I'm gonna do like a red, I don't know if it's red or pink, but whatever it is, I'm gonna do like a liner thing. I'm going to like a music gig, so just want like edgy, you know? Just running out. I never miss classes. I'm the biggest nerd, but like for some reason the other day I just like couldn't face going. And it's like you don't want to be alone, but then you don't want to be with anyone because you don't really want to talk. Yeah, it's a terrible feeling. And then also it's like you don't want to do anything, so the chances are you're going to just be sitting in bed, which is what I was doing. And if you're in bed, you're on your phone, and if you're on your phone, you're on Instagram. And it's hard to help that. I think something that's really important when you're feeling that way is just to be so kind to yourself and like not bully yourself because you did go on Instagram or you missed a class because you just like couldn't face it. Like just be kind to yourself and just say, okay, well, you know what? It's okay. Like I have these panics and then they sort of run things for me for a while, excuse me. And then my anxiety is fed by the fact that I did all this other stuff, like miss class or go on Instagram, and then it sort of snowballs. And so if you are feeling this way, just remember just to be kind to yourself and like you're not the only one that's experiencing it. I do just want to say that I find doing videos like this as someone who does suffer from anxiety, I do find these videos important for me to make because the chances of you going on social media when you're feeling crappy is high, and I think if you scroll past a video like this as opposed to like a video of someone on their trip to Bali or something like that, it may be better to see this as opposed to that. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it might be. Ugh, this eyeliner is like dry as hell. On my hand. like trying to revive it with eye makeup remover. I have no idea if that's correct. Whatever, we're going for a messy look. This has been a messy week. We're going for a messy look. We're not trying to fool anyone and say that we've had the best week ever, you know. Why are we hiding? Why are we hiding our true emotions? Oh yeah, these breakouts are painful. I just like wanted to talk about this because I've like scrolled through YouTube and like found a video similar to this one where someone's just like super candidly, super casually, super like not negatively necessarily, just sort of like talking about it, and it really helped me. You know, it's like so nice, and that's why I love these platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram or whatever. Like, it's so cool that we have platforms where we could just talk about anything we want and we don't have to get the permission of anyone to talk about it, and we can like really make a difference and like help people who are struggling. You know, we don't have to watch these sort of like made up stories about anxiety in movies. We can actually just listen to real people talk about their experience so easily, and that is awesome. What is not awesome is this eyeliner. I'm like committed to the bit now, so I don't really know what to do. I mean, she is looking crusty. I mean, she's not, yeah, I mean, she is not great. I'm so sorry, I don't know if anything I'm saying is making any sense. I hope it is. Oh God, I hate this. Okay. And I know how anxiety can make you feel like it's like never gonna end, but I swear, like yesterday I was feeling that, and now today I'm like actually going out into society. This is way too much blush. You know, like yesterday I couldn't even imagine having a shower. Today I'm like actually putting makeup on. That is progress, and I promise it'll happen to you. If you are feeling this way, I promise it'll happen to you. I know it's so easy to think that it won't, but it will. It really will. Oh. Yeah, we're taking the cold girl look to a whole new level. Oh, one thing. If I can suggest anything for anxiety, is if you can, like, try a new hobby that'll just like take your mind off it, get your like hands moving. Those are like the best things. I'm a painter, but because painting is like something that I consider like a job, it doesn't really ease my anxiety. I don't find it anxiety calming. Sometimes I do, but sometimes, and most of the time, I do not. When I'm feeling anxious, like the last thing I want to do is work, and to me painting kind of is work, so I don't want to do that. But I just started knitting, which I am like fully obsessed with. It's my new favorite thing to do of all time. I'm starting to make a little top. I love her. And this is awesome because it's so like, doesn't need your brain, but somehow it distracts your brain from all other thoughts, and it just keeps your hands busy. It's amazing. I highly suggest, if you need something, try knitting. And if you don't paint anyway, you should try painting, because painting honestly is the best for anxiety. I think like people would argue that that's probably one of the best things you could do. Yeah. Like, I don't know if this is the right color. Or do we want to go red? Maybe red. To distract from the crustiest eyeliner ever. If anyone has any tips on like I don't know what you call this, reviving eyeliner, let me know. Okay, we need mascara. Okay, I realized after I bought this is the Lashgate Lash mascara, I mean, and honestly, it's pretty good. It's pretty good mascara, so. I'm thinking something crazy, like I'm thinking that if I line on top of the red with a black, of course I think about this right after I put mascara on, because it's like super crusty at the top, but the rest of the red is fine. But this could be like horrible, and I'm already late, so I don't know if this is the best idea. Maybe like put a black line on top of the red. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Okay. Oh god. Okay. 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 Oh god. Was that a mistake? I can't tell. I'm so sorry to disappoint, but I literally just went over the black with the red because the black and the red looked insane. And yeah, the red is run out, so should we just leave the hair out? Ow. We could do maybe clips. Okay. I look how I feel. Let's just say that. We are looking as we feel, and that is fine. Okay, it's cute. I like it. I really have to go. Do you think the clips or no? Maybe just down. Oh no, I'll figure that out later. Okay, I love you guys. I hope everyone's feeling good. If you're not feeling good, don't worry, you're not by yourself. I totally get it. Been there. We'll be there again, I'm sure. And yeah, if you guys would subscribe, that would be awesome. If you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Okay, love you, bye. I'm back. Outfit-wise, sorry, you guys have to be involved in every part of this. We're like committed. Okay. Oh, I got blush under the hair and it's not meant to be there. I think we're gonna do the classic pink jacket with Doc Marten shoes. Like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna get a bag, and then we're gonna go. Alright. Okay, love you, bye.